So conquering self-doubt is extremely important. So when we start to question whether something worked, did that work? Or did I really just mess up in some way? Did I do what I did before? And then that's when your brain starts working against you. So when you start looking at your past with the opposite of rose-colored glasses, whatever that might be, the negative side, you start looking at how you messed up every time in the past in a similar way, or how you've messed up in different ways, but how many times you've messed up, or how many times, whether you're thinking about a conversation with somebody, or something at your job, or something at school, or something like even in magic, your spiritual life, when you start to question, your brain starts to work against you directly after that. That's what leads to terrible self-doubt, is the step after questioning. So it's good to question, but don't start letting it roll into other times you messed up, or how much you don't know, or how inept you are in whatever regard. That's when your brain's starting to work against you. It's good to question. It's good to keep on asking questions. But notice how you start to ask questions of yourself and how you're looking at your past when you start to doubt yourself. When you feel like a relationship is going downhill, and you worry about being alone, or you worry about how much time you put into this relationship, or to this person, or to this endeavor, or this piece of your life that you have with this person now, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic relationship, whether it's a family member who you really want to be on good terms with. Stop yourself before you start assuming the worst. Assuming the worst is another way the brain works against us. Assuming the worst and starting to look at everything in the past as worse than it is. Because so much of consciousness and so much of thought is how we conceive of the world, our past, and perspective. So perspective, based on your perspective, a lot of things can change. A lot of things can become much better or much worse. And it's so hard when you have a disorder or you have a problem with different emotions and different moods, and you get in a mood where it just feels like your brain just keeps on going down this negative rabbit hole of self-doubt, self-criticism. And there's a lot of relationships that you might get into where the other person is supporting that self-criticism. That's an unhealthy relationship. And that toxicity is not something you need in your life. If it's a relationship that you want to stay in, you need to make it very clear to that person that you don't want that kind of toxicity to enter into your mind from somebody that you want emotional support from, and from somebody that you seek emotional nourishment. But we can't control what others do. We often can't control external events, and we can't control what's going to happen in our lives all of the time. So what we can do first and foremost is question. That's how we evolve. That's how we learn to do things better. But don't let it go into self-doubt. And don't put on those glasses that make you look at everything in the past as if it was terrible and there's no way out. Because once you put on those glasses, it's very hard to find a way out. And that way out, it's always there. In a way, our perspective, we have to produce our own light from our mind's eye. And things can be illuminated with perspective if taken correctly, and if we stop ourselves from that self-doubt. As we move forward in life, we're going to encounter this a lot. Our brain will work against us if we form these habits of self-doubt, self-criticism, and don't form the ability to form a better perspective. So just keep that in mind when you're starting to doubt yourself. Question, don't doubt. You can kind of regret. It's good if you did something bad and you regret it, that's good. But don't fall into the trap of, I'm this terrible being and there's no way I can move forward. There's no way that I can rectify this, and there's no way I can be a better person. Because then you start to demonize yourself and you embrace that demonization. When I say demon, I mean in the negative sense everybody usually means. I don't mean as like demons are bad. But when you start to demonize yourself, you start to expect less of yourself. And when you expect less of yourself, it's a downward slope of you thinking less and less about yourself. So don't demonize yourself. You can do this. You can do whatever you put your mind to. You can achieve and be a better person. It's just going to take effort and time and proper perspective. At any rate, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video at all, sorry, I decided to make it right after I lifted weights, so I'm very sweaty right now, but I thought I might go ahead and just put out there what I was thinking and some thoughts that I had today. If you like this video at all, hit that thumbs up down there. It really helps out the channel. Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to share this video. And I hope all of you have a wonderful day.